guys, to just review really fast before we get started, I'm going to just kind of take some of the coins we've been working with, and I saw some of you guys were doing a review sheet with money this morning, but we're going to just kind of review some of the coins. So who can tell me what this one is? Quarter. All right, thanks Gavin for raising your hand. Gavin, how many dots did you draw on this? 5. Alright, who can raise your hand and tell me what this one is? Yes, Isaiah. Penny, and how many cents is a penny?
None.
What? 1 cent. 1 cent. Yes, you're right, but you don't draw any dots on it. You're exactly right. Alright. And then who can raise their hand and tell me? Who can raise their hand, guys? Malachi. Nickel, and how many dots you draw in a nickel? 1. Exactly. And how many cents is a nickel worth? Raise your hand, think, Summer. 5. Exactly right. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me which one is left? Tyler. Dime. And who can raise your hand and tell me how many dots you draw on a dime? Yes. 2. And how many cents? Who can raise your hand and tell me how many cents? Skylar.
10 cents.
10 cents. Exactly. Okay, so just that was a little review. And so now we're going to talk about how you can solve problems using money. And so if I was to ask you right now, if I said, Abigail had 7 apples and Kate ate 2 of them, how many apples are left? You can raise your hand. So you started with 7, and then 2 were eaten. Are we going to add or subtract? Subtract. So what sign would I would put a minus sign here?
Yeah.
So then what would that equal? 5. Awesome. So we're going to kind of do the same kind of thing, but we're going to be using coins today. So, okay, so we have a bag of coins here, and I'm going to pick out some of my coins. So I'm just reaching my hand in here, and I'm pulling out this. So how many do I have up here? You can raise your hand and tell me. Yes. Gavin, sorry. $0.41, exactly right. So I have 41 cents. And then I'm thinking to myself, if I bought something that costed 5 cents, and so I was taking 5 cents, how would I solve that? Would I solve it the same way I would with the apples? Would I create a problem? So I'm thinking that I might do 41 minus 5. So then what would I do? How would I solve this? Isaiah. Exactly right. So I'm going to have to borrow, right? Because I can't take 1 away from 5. So I'm going to make my 4 a 3, and I'm going to make my 1 and
11.
Good job. So 11 minus 5. Yes. No. 11 minus 5 is 6. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my 3 down. So then I have 36 cents left. So something that I think we are going to work on today, we are going to have an activity. We're going to do 3 things with our activity. First, we are going to solve a problem kind of like we just did. So, we'll come back to that one. So if I'm going to, I have this bag right here. Everybody see my bag?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to just stick my hand in the bag, and I'm just going to pull out some coins. It doesn't matter how many I pull out. I'm just going to pull out however many I'm feeling. And then I'm going to pull out a piece of paper that's in here. You guys see these pieces of paper?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which one I pull out.
What if you get
You just pull one back in and just take one out. Okay, so right now I have some coins and then I have an item. So what is that? What is that
Ice
picture
cream
look like?
cone.
An ice cream cone, right. Okay, so this is how many coins I started with, and then this is what I'm going to buy. So first I'm going to count out my coins. So I'm going to go, I have 1 quarter, I have 3 pennies, I have 2 dimes and a nickel. So I'm going to count that. I have a quarter, there's 5 dots on my quarter. I have 2 dimes, and I know that there's 2 dots on my dimes. And then I have a nickel, and then there's 1 dot on my nickel, and then I have 3 pennies, and I know there's 1 cent on each of those. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 1, 2, 3. So I know that I'm starting with 53 cents. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. 53 cents. And then I know that my ice cream is costing 15 cents. So if I'm going to pay somebody 15 cents, I'm not going to have that money anymore. I'm giving it to them. So that means that I'm going to subtract, right?
Yeah.
So I'm subtracting 15 cents. Does everybody see where I have 15 cents on here? Okay. So I'm taking away 15 cents. So I'm going to have to solve that. So I'm writing 53, take away 15, and I'm going to solve it the same way we just did a second ago. So I know that I can't take 3 away from 5. So I'm going to cross out my 5 and make my 5 a 4. I'm going to make my 3 a 13. 13 minus 5, who can help me out? Yes, Gavin. 8, exactly right. And who can help me out with 4 minus 1? Who have I heard from? Yes, Jemiah. 3, exactly right. So I have 38 cents left. So after I buy my ice cream, I still have 38 cents left. So then on this sheet that we're going to do together, or we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to put it in. So we'll do one more together as a group. Put my coins back in my bag. Okay, so I'm not going to put my ice cream cone back in because I already did that one, and I don't want to do that one again. So, yes. That's exactly what yes, you could do it that way too. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to grab out some more coins, same thing that we just did. I'll get it in a second, don't worry about it. Okay, so in this part right here, you guys see this little box? You guys are going to have the same exact sheet, so I'm just going to kind of show you how to fill it in. So I'm going to draw the coins that I pulled out. So I know that I have 1 quarter. I know that I have 2 dimes. Who can tell me how many nickels I have, raising your hands? Baby, can you tell me how many nickels I have? 3. Oh, you got kind of, there you go. 3, you're exactly right. Nickel, nickel, nickel. Okay, and then how many pennies do I have? You can raise your hand.
4.
Yes, Abigail, thank you. 4. Penny, penny, pennies. That's what I'm going to do in this box right here. So I'm going to come back to it. Now I'm going to stick my hand in this bag, and I'm going to pull out another picture. A phone. You're exactly right. So then this phone is 41 cents. So I'm going to write that in this box right here. My phone, because it says, what picture did you pull out of your bag? So 41 cents. So first I need to go back. What should I do first? I need to figure out how much money I have here, right? Okay, so who can help me count? So let's start with my quarter. Skylar, so what am I going to do with my quarter?
Put 5 dots and then put 2 on the 2 dots on the dimes.
Okay.
Put one on each nickel
Okay.
and none on the penny.
None on the pennies. Okay, so let's all count together. Everybody follow me with your eyes.
5,
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. So I have 64 cents. And then what am I going to do with this? So I have 64 cents right here, and I'm buying a phone for 41 cents. So how am I going to, what kind of problem am I going to set up? Zeta, do you know? Is it going to be a subtraction or an addition problem?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Okay, so I'm going to put my bigger number first, my coins that I started with. So I'm going to put, and we wrote it right here, 64 minus how many? 41 equals, and so now I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to solve it in this same box right here. 64 minus 41. Okay, 4 minus 1, everybody. 3. 6 minus 4, everybody. 2. So I have 23 cents left. Okay, so now we're going to do something pretty awesome. So right here, we just created our own problem, pulling the coins out. Now we're going to write a problem. And it sounds harder than it is. I know you guys can do it. So, you know how in the problems you were solving earlier, I came up with a name. And we've talked about this before. You can use your name if you don't know. When you're reading a problem, you know how if you get hung up on a name that's kind of hard, you can use your name or you can use any name. That's how we're going to start out this problem. So I'm going to think to myself, what name can I use? I know I can use my name. So I'm going to start Miss Spence has, and I'm going to have to see how much money I have. So same thing we just did. I'm going to pull out some change. Okay, so I'm going to count and see how much change I have. So I have 2 quarters. I have 2 dimes. I have 2 nickels. And I have 3 pennies. Okay, who can help me count this? Yes, Abigail. How many dots am I going to put on my quarters? Okay. And how many on my dimes? 2. How many on my nickels? 1. And none of my pennies, right? Alright, so let's count this together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 81, 82, 83. Wow, that's kind of a big number. So Miss Spence has 83 cents. Okay, so now what am I going to have to do next? Who thinks, what am I going to probably do next? Yeah, Malachi, what do you think I'm doing next? Am I going to take something out of my bag? Am I going to pull an item out? Okay, so I'm going to take out this hot dog. Oh my goodness. So if I'm going to pay, friends, wait, not even. If I'm going to pay, thank you, Zeta. If I'm going to pay for this hot dog, am I going to add or subtract? Subtract, because I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give them some of my money in return for this hot dog. So I'm going to pay, so she pays, or she gives, how many cents do I pay? It says it right here, 22, thank you, 22 cents. And then what's my question going to be? If you need help, you can look back up here. How much money does he have left? So how much money does she have left? Okay, but here's the cool thing. How much money does she have left? But hang on, this is the cool part. And question mark, I think, because it's a question. I'm not going to solve this one, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to then give this paper to my friends, and they're going to solve it. How cool is that, right? So you're going to create your own problem that you're giving to a friend. So you're not going to solve it